there's another character in the movie who's the main. What are the girls called? The girl who plays Okoye is a special like guard to is part of an elite group of warriors that protect T'Challa. It's an all female, right? I think they're all
Yeah,
females. All female group of warriors. And she's dating this guy who's like a prince of one of the tribes.
right.
And he very much believes like he's willing to go out and wage war on other countries, but he doesn't want to have anyone coming into the country.
Right.
So there's another real world topic that the world is dealing with right now is don't let what was the word that he used when you let people into your country?
Was it refugees?
Yeah, refugees. He's like you let refugees into your country and they bring the problems with them.
Right.
And this is something that a lot of different countries are dealing with. Because one, they're saying, well, refugees need help.
Right. Well, you look at what everybody's talking about right now with build a wall.
Yeah, build a
So
wall or
how relevant is that
or
topic
Germany
to
or
us today?
Syria. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So this is another way this movie is speaking to the audience.
Another way, another real life issue that it was presenting is the Civil War that they had.
Yeah, and this is yeah, exactly. In the from the original Civil War movie, right?
No, in this movie they had a Civil War.
That's right. They did have a Civil War in this
And
movie.
it was specifically over which alpha male is going to be the leader.
Yeah.
Which one is going to be the king? And those two men never didn't get to finish that challenge in front of the people. The people just decided which side they were going to be on and started a civil war.
Right. And what was interesting too was so you had there was two female elements in this movie. And they were both feminine even though one was a female warrior. I guess they were both female warriors. But you had these two ideas of femininity, right? One is being faithful to your home,
Right.
and the other one was being faithful to the man that you love.
Right.
And I found that to be interesting, right? Because in real life, a woman struggles with this. Because a woman has her home and her children, and then she has her husband, right?
Right.
And here you have this very cool element that is not really not even in the foreground in any way at all, right? But symbolically, it's there when the warrior Okoye, she even says, "You know what? I choose my home over you, the man." Right?
Right. Yeah.
She says, "I'll give my life for my home." Right? And in the same way, even though she doesn't like Killmonger, she's like, "My home, the traditions of my home are more important." It's almost like a religious woman is gonna say, "Well, no, I have to stay true to my religious upbringing or whatever,
Right.
right? My
Yeah.
home." And then you have Nakia's character, who's the love interest for T'Challa, who's like, "No, I forsake everything for the man that I love."
Right.
And there's these two very feminine ideas, right? And they're kind of contrasted.
Yes. And I was interested in the idea that there was no happy ending for Killmonger. And
No.
that's exactly the way it should have been. I think they did great with that. And he was not killed by the Black Panther. He chose death for himself when he removed the knife
Right.
from himself.
Yeah, because T'Challa, and what this was interesting to me, right? So,
No matter what weapons you have against somebody, that ultimately that person's beliefs can remain.
right. So this was interesting. So T'Challa had this opportunity to ask to ask Killmonger to yield, but he never asks him to yield, right?
Well, he does.
He doesn't ask him.
He says this
he
is the
gives him.
last chance you have
Well,
to
he
before the challenge. Remember, he says this is the last chance you have to put down your weapons.
yeah, but Killmonger wasn't going to give up at that point. He had an army. He had everything.
No, this was the first challenge he had. They were fighting at the waterfall,
Oh yeah,
and he was like, "This is the last chance you have to put down your weapons
yeah, but
peacefully."
also T'Challa thought he was the one with the advantage.
Yeah, he did think that.
He didn't understand that Killmonger, his whole life, had been building to that moment. There was no way Killmonger was going to refuse that moment. And T'Challa didn't give, like, T'Challa at the very end of the movie doesn't ask him to yield, which I thought was interesting. Because I felt like I was kind of, come on, T'Challa, say, hey man, it doesn't have to be this way. Just yield. We figure something out, right? But at the same time, you don't feel sympathetic for Michael B. Jordan completely, but there's something about what he's saying that kind of is like, yeah, right?
Yeah.
Wakanda has forgotten people like him, right?
Well, the Black Panther doesn't confirm or deny. He's like, Killmonger's like, so I can be locked up, and then the Black Panther doesn't say anything to that because he doesn't say, well, we're not going to lock you up, and he doesn't say, well, we are not going to lock you up. He just doesn't say anything,
Right.
and it's to me his silence confirmed that yes, he would be
Yeah, they
would be
can't. They
locked
can't.
up.
He's too dangerous.
Well,
Plus, he had the Black Panther serum in him.
okay. So this goes back to another parallel of this would be King Solomon and his brother is competing for the throne, but then when they name Solomon as king, his brother goes and begs for mercy, and King Solomon pardons him. And then later, it turns out that his brother hasn't given up on being king, and then Solomon has him killed. So this is another, I guess you could say parallel. It's not really parallel exactly because
I would say, yeah.
it sort of parallels it because the Black Panther knows that if he lets him off the hook, then there's always going to be that chance that he's going to come back and get him later.
Yeah.
And that's why he doesn't say anything. Because it's hard for a good man to be king. He doesn't want to say, well, yeah, we're going to lock you up. Of course we are. Because he does have
A guilt.
he does have a guilt, and he does have some compassion
Yeah, he does.
for him. And on the other hand, he doesn't want to say
He understands the threat that Killmonger poses.
he does.
Yeah.
So many real life, relevant, timeless themes that this movie presented in a non-contrived way.
Yeah.
And
This might be the best Marvel movie
I
yet.
think it probably is the best Marvel
Yeah.
movie that I've seen.